In the 1950s, Japan was rapidly recovering from the post-war period, and during a time when railways were the mainstay of logistics, the challenge was how to meet the overwhelming demand. The need for long-distance, high-speed, and mass transportation was urgent. Due to the tight supply of coal and the abundant hydraulic power at the time, the electrification of railways progressed, and the complete electrification of the Takedo main line, the main artery supporting logistics, was imminent. There were repeated trials and challenges to determine whether the leading role in high-speed limited express trains should be given to locomotive-hauled passenger trains or the rapidly growing EMUs. Despite the rapid progress of EMUs since the 80 series, the quiet and low-vibration charm of passenger cars was hard to abandon. There was serious discussion about utilizing the high-output locomotives, EH10, developed for hauling heavy freight trains, for passenger trains. To explore this possibility, the 15th unit of the EH10 was produced. At that time, there was strong resistance to the noisy and shaking EMUs. In the 15th unit of the EH10, in addition to changing the gear ratio, the motors were modified to high-speed types, significantly reducing the motor weight from 3.5 tons to 2.5 tons. Since the output at wheel rim remained the same, the rotational force decreased, but it was given the characteristic of less reduction in acceleration even at high speeds like the EF58, making it capable of operating at 120 km per hour. In December 1955, an experimental haul of the limited express Tsubame was conducted using this unit. Given the importance of hauling a commercial formation, the EF58 was employed as a backup machine in case of any trouble. The EF58 was considered a dead weight and had the role of supplying heating steam in place of the EH10, which lacked an SG. At the time of the complete electrification of the Takedo main line, there were plans for a limited express passenger train hauled by high-speed electric locomotives to connect Tokyo and Osaka in 6 hours and 30 minutes. When looking at the tractive effort curve for hauling the Tsubame formation at the time, the maximum speed was possible up to about 110 km per hour, and by using the lightweight passenger cars that were being put into practical use, further speeding up was expected. The tests were conducted round-trip and ended without incident, providing great expectations for the advocates of locomotive-hauled passenger trains. However, the issue of axle load became a major obstacle. During the Meiji era, in the haste to catch up with the West and deploy a nationwide railway network, the push for narrow-gauge and weak-track construction left a lasting problem. Running on fragile tracks made axle load an issue. For locomotives, ensuring the required output at wheel rim resulted in an axle load of around 16 tons, which was overwhelmingly disadvantageous compared to EMUs, which could keep their axle load to around 12 tons even when loaded. The relationship between axle load and track destruction is said to not be a simple proportional relationship, but rather cubic or even quartic, meaning a 20% increase in axle load results in more than an 80% increase in track destruction. This was an unavoidable problem for locomotive advocates, and with the rapid enhancement of EMU's performance, the victory was decisively in favor of EMUs.